What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Yours truly, Kendrick McNutt here, back again with another video. Make sure you guys like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel for more content. And episode 8 of Beneath the Surface podcast with yours truly, Kendrick McNutt here, where we're unpacking the unseen one conversation at a time. And this episode, man, is I think it's pretty cool. I have yet another person, a part of my internship, to come on to share their story and just talk sports, of course, and talk a little bit of life. And so she was gracefully enough to come on and talk today. Today we have Soleil. Damn, literally. What are you doing today?
Hello, everyone. Like Kendrick said, I'm Soleil. I'm also a fan feed intern and currently a junior at San Diego State.
Yeah, how's that going for you?
It's it's going. I mean, it's just I feel like now that I'm a junior, it's just kind of going through the motion. It's like, yeah, it's college. No one's really asking me like, "Oh my God, what's your favorite part about it?" anymore because I'm like 3 years in. But I'm chugging along so close to graduation, like I'm getting there.
What made you choose that university, and what were your other options?
So I'm from California, the Bay Area,
Mhm.
which we'll probably talk more about later. So I think in-state was probably best for my parents' wallet. So I came down here to San Diego, one, because it was a good school, and the year that I was applying to colleges and committing to colleges was actually when San Diego State made the national championship. They lost. Anyway, but it was like so awesome, and it was like, okay, that's it. Like I love basketball as well as football, but I was like, okay, that's how I knew. I immediately got a shirt that said like Final Four, and yeah, that was basic. I don't want to say that's why I committed there, but that was a really big factor. Other than like the tuition being affordable because it's in state, and I also got to have a pure journalism major, which wasn't offered at a lot of other schools that I applied to. But my second option was Washington State, which was like kind of an odd option. But again, I love basketball, and my favorite basketball player, Clay Thompson, went there. So I was like, I had to consider it.
Yeah, that's really cool. So for me, I was one of those kids that didn't really take school seriously throughout high school. Like I was just trying to be around the cool kids and try to be someone that I wasn't. And so when it came down to me graduating, it was like a deer in headlights moment. Like, oh, like life is real now. Like I need to figure out what to do. So I skipped the entire school year, and then I went to Chowan University. You may not have heard of it. Don't look it up. Um, and it's in North Carolina, but it's right there at the Virginia line. And
Hmm.
um, I went there for sports management, but at that point, I was just ready to get out the house. I didn't really know what to do with my life at that point, and I was just kind of using it as to just leave, find another direction in life. And so I was there for 2 years. Then I transferred to Wingate University, about like 30, 40 minutes from Charlotte. And that's when I was kind of like, that's when I really took control of my life and just like, oh, okay, we're going to do this broadcasting thing. So just head down and focus on what you got to do. And it's been a journey. It's been a good 7, 8 year journey, but we're making it through.
I'd love to hear more about like the sports, or yeah, you said sports broadcasting major, because like I
Yeah.
don't know if any of the schools that I applied to offered specifically broadcasting. Like journalism was as specific as it got.
Yeah. Yeah. So my introduction to that was back when I was 12, 13, my preteen years. That was when I'll never forget. So like as a kid, like I was just a TV kid, like cartoons. That's it. Like I didn't really get into sports at all until like 2010. It was the NBA Finals, right? The Lakers
Mhm.
Celtics Game 7. Kobe against the
Mhm.
three. And that was the very first sports game that I ever watched as a kid. And I was just hooked right then and there. And I remember throughout the game, I was just annoyed, not because of the action, but the people that was talking throughout the game. Like I was bored. I'm focused on like the play.
Yeah.
And after the game, like of course Kobe and them they won. Cool. Then my dad asked me like, "Oh, did you enjoy the game?" I was like, "Yeah, but like, who are those people talking throughout the game? What did they do?" I was like, "Oh yeah, they're sports broadcasters. They get paid to talk about the game." It was kind of like in those TV shows, a light bulb. It's like I knew right then and there what I wanted to do. But at that time, I was definitely shy, intimidated to go after it. Definitely someone that cared too much what people thought or said. Oh, Kendrick, the quiet, shy kid going after something so big and massive. Like, no way. Um, but yeah, after a while, I just stuck to my guns and took a chance on myself, and here I am now. So it's been a
That's awesome.
yeah, yeah.
I love that. I had a similar kind of experience where I was, like, watching a game and, like, I knew I liked sports, but I was like, "How can I find a way to, like, make it a career?" And, like, it was probably my dad that was like, "Why don't you, like, wanna be like those guys talking during the game? Like, you could be a sports broadcaster." And I've kind of, I don't know, played around with the idea of, like, being an actual announcer versus, like, a sideline reporter or, like, again, a podcaster, which is still some form of reporting, or even I've found a love for writing, so I feel like, just kind of being all over the place with the sports journalism world, but definitely broadcasting and announcing was, like, my introduction to it.
Oh, really? What was what was kind of like the foundation of that? Like, kind of like sparked your interest?
I mean, I grew up, watching USC football because that's where my dad went, and, like, I used to go to a game with him every season because he had season tickets. So, when we weren't, in person at the Coliseum watching the game, I was probably glued to the TV every Sunday, or sorry, not Sunday, Saturday afternoon, and then, as, like, the Warriors kind of create their dynasty became the dynasty, I was obviously watching, like, the local broadcast network, and I, like, fell in love with that team and them and just, like, how they covered the game and just, like, now looking back, like, all of the, like, kind of color commentators are, like, former players that now I remember seeing them growing up, and that's just, I don't know. It's all nostalgic and also feels so, like, especially the local networks feel very special because it's like those are your players. They're not just like some good basketball player that turned into a color commentator. It's like people who know the Warriors, people who know the Niners, and you know, I don't know. It's just I love the local broadcast network. Shout out.
Yeah, definitely. But you spoke about journalism and your I guess you can say passion for writing, right?
Yeah.
Which leads us to fan feed, which is something that we've had the opportunity of doing since how long has it been? Since like July,
Sin-
August?
yeah. I want to say July.
Yeah, yeah. What was it about fan feed that sparked your interest and what made you like pursue it and apply for it?
Well, I saw it pop up on my LinkedIn, which, like, of course, like, that's how it works, that's how you get a job. But, I think the title was something about media and writing, and I was like, "Wait, that's perfect, right up my alley," and then I looked into it a lot more and learned, like, you'd be covering the NFL, which is something I hadn't done before, which is why it, like, immediately sparked my interest. I covered, like, high school football when I was in high school and then going into college, but never the NFL, and of course, I grew up loving the Niners and just, like, watching football every single Sunday, Thursday, and Monday. So, I was like, "Yeah, totally, I'll do it." And then I applied, and then they emailed me, and I was like, "Oh my god, wait, they want me to cover the NFL, that's crazy." And, like, telling my friends, I was like, "Oh, yeah, I'm covering the Niners for my internship," and they were like, like the San Francisco 49ers? And I was like, yeah, duh. And I've just loved it ever since. But just the gravity of professional football and the NFL definitely drew me in, I think, the most.
Yeah, very, very similar. Well, actually, before Fan Feed, I actually did a another writing internship that started back in August of last year and it ended this year in January, which is
Mhm.
another, writing one. And but that one was particularly about basketball and wrestling. Um,
Ooh,
yeah. So I mean, we had the choice to write about anything. So I was like, I'm gonna just choose the two that I'm most knowledgeable in. Um, and so from February, March, April, May, I was kind of struggling, trying to see what's next. I applied here, applied there, didn't get anything back. Um, had opportunities for interviews. I thought I nailed it, didn't get it. So I was definitely in my head a little bit, like trying to figure out like what can I do? What should I do? And came across fan feed. I was like, this is pretty cool. Um, try my luck. I applied, didn't really expect anything back. Maybe like 2, 3 days later, um, I think I think Trey got back with me
yeah,
on
I wanna say I think he emailed me too.
yeah, he messaged me on LinkedIn about like setting it up, interview and all that. And I don't know about you, but in my interview, I was with Trey and Brandon, and we talked for a good hour, and I felt pretty good about it. Um, but still, just like based off previous stuff, like I just wasn't really thinking that I would get it. And literally, maybe like another day or two, I got the confirmation like, "Hey, we want you on here and show your skills." And here we are in November.
My god, I know. It feels like so long ago. I remember, like, I've gone through the same exact thing where I'm like, I feel like I gave this, like, perfect interview, like, I'm completely qualified on paper, I'm exactly what they want, and then they're like, "Sorry, we went with another candidate," and I'm like, "Really, guys? Like, I put in all that effort, and the least I get is, like, a sorry email." So I feel you on that. But I was kind of in a similar situation. From January to May, I did an internship with a professional volleyball team here in San Diego, and I did game day media and communications, which was super fun. So I just went to every single game and helped out in their media relations department. But from May to that July point, I was like interviewing, applying everywhere because I was like, I need something for the summer, I need something for the fall, and it was just nonstop until Trey emailed me, and I was like, "War is over. I did it."
How was that experience for you with the volleyball?
I absolutely loved it. I always tell people it's been my favorite internship I've done so far. I think FanFeed's my 4th, and, yeah, I grew up playing volleyball, so I was already familiar with, like, the game in general, but just, like, the environment, and they actually play on campus at San Diego State, so it wasn't far at all. It was just, like, so fun, and I also met Jordan Love because his now wife played for the volleyball team that I was working for, so that was awesome.
Oh man, that's pretty cool. Um, why fourth with FanFeed? What's the other two that's ahead?
In high school, I did an internship with a local nonprofit, and I just ran their social media. And then, my first one in college was with this, like, I would just call it like a brand. They have a publication, they do merchandise, and they host like panels and events like that. It's called Sports Girls Club, and it's literally exactly what it sounds like. It's just uplifting women in sports, but then also covering all sports from literally hockey to gymnastics to volleyball to basketball to tennis. So it's pretty cool. But I was an editor um, for that, and then going into game day media communications, and then now writing.
Okay, I got you. Altogether, I've had 3 internships, including FanFeed. My very first one was the one that I had to do in order to graduate college. It was,
Right.
I had to I had to call the local football teams football games uh,
Mm,
on the radio with
that's cool.
it was cool. I was just very nervous. Obviously, it was my first time doing something, that big before. And I had a partner. I've had a couple classes with him just generally because we're both communication majors, but I didn't really know him like that. Um, so in order for me to, I guess, be comfortable with something like that, like I have to like know this person and balance off each other well and all those things. And so, and even with that, like I didn't get on until maybe like the third or fourth home game. So
Mm,
practically the half of the season's already over just off that. Uh,
yeah.
and so then when I got on, it was just like so rushed. So like I hated it, but at the same time I did appreciate it because it was of the experience. Um, and like I mentioned earlier, my second one was the writing one about basketball, wrestling, and now here we are with fan feed, and I can honestly say this is my favorite one so far. Just the interactions that I have, um, meeting people like you, and just seeing everybody just do their thing and actually know their stuff is pretty cool.
Yeah, I love seeing everybody's articles and, like, connecting with everybody on LinkedIn and seeing, like, what they're doing outside of FanFeed too. Because obviously I know they're a fan of whatever team that they're covering, but it's just cool to see what else people are up to.
Yeah, yeah. And speaking of that, like I think this morning I seen something on LinkedIn from you. Like this is like the you're leaving your frat, your sorority or something like that.
Oh, yeah, oh my gosh. Um, yeah, I'm finishing my term as the vice president of recruitment
Hmm.
for my sorority, thank goodness, and moving on to, like, a bigger role with, like,
Yeah.
overseeing all the sororities on my campus, which is super cool. But yeah, my, predecessor or successor no, successor is the right word. She just got installed on Monday night, so I posted about that. But yeah, that was oh, what a year it's been. I'm so glad that it's over.
Is this very stressful?
Yeah, I don't know how much you know about, like, Greek life and especially Greek life at certain schools, but at SDSU, they boast that it's, like, the biggest Greek life campus on the West Coast, or one of them. So having to run recruitment for one of the sororities on our campus was probably one of the hardest things I've ever done. I've put in so many hours and, like, I remember waking up at, like, 5 AM and then going to bed at 1 AM the next day, like, on recruitment days and just planning things, and it's, like, just so many things that you wouldn't think of, but, yeah, it was just a lot of work. I don't know, I wouldn't really recommend it, not that you'd ever be in that position, but any ladies in their sorority listening, I don't recommend. Sorry,
It was a chapter in your life, and now it's on to the next
for
one, right?
sure.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
absolutely,
prepared me for a lot of things in the professional world, for sure.
definitely. Thus far, what has been like your favorite moments so far with fan feed?
Uh, I really like the podcasts. I think I was definitely nervous the first time that I did it, but once I kinda got used to it and got into the cadence of it, I really enjoyed it. I think I'm obviously used to writing, but, like, on a platform like this, like, talking, I think it's a lot more natural for me, and I can think of things, like, a lot more on the spot, and it's also I like talking to people, so the conversational aspect is fun.
Yeah, the articles are obviously a fun part of it, but it can be I'm not gonna lie, like the first two times that I got on the podcast, I was very intimidated trying to
Yeah, me too.
now, especially like if it's live, people are watching, and especially I'm sure your first one, like friends, family were watching that you told about, right? Um,
Yeah, I was like, "Guys, look, I'm on this podcast," and I'm ugh.
you want to actually come across like you know what you're talking about. Um,
Yeah.
so that aspect definitely got to me. But the more I did it, the more comfortable I got. Um, but yeah, the podcast element is my favorite as well. I think I've been on now 4 times, 3 or 4. Um, yeah, I've enjoyed it every single time, and um, just again, just interactions, talking about football, whatever teams or we're talking about. It's pretty cool. Just talking football. I like it. I love it.
Yeah, I like it a lot too. Definitely, like, the writing, especially because of what I've started doing is just recaps and previews for every single week. Sometimes it gets repetitive, especially with, like, division opponents. So, I think getting on the podcast, talking about it, they always have different questions to ask, and it's also, like, hearing from the other person who's, like, covering the other team has been fun too, and I've also done a lot of podcasts for my secondary team, so it kind of breaks me out of the 49ers mold, hear a little bit more about the Chargers, so that's been fun too.
Yeah, I've been on 4 times and I haven't yet talked about the Panthers. So
I can't
it's
say I'm
easy.
surprised,
Yeah,
but you know what? They're getting there. They might you guys might beat the Bucks for the N what is it? The NFC South title.
yeah,
I believe in Bryce Young.
yeah. Absolutely. He's definitely surprised me last game, and hopefully we can keep that momentum going. I think I think we have you guys next Monday.
Oh my gosh. Yes, I wrote that at the end of my article. That'll be awesome.
Yeah.
I the Niners are at an odd spot. I don't even know what to
At
say
least
about it.
Brock is back at least, right?
I know. Thank goodness. He was awesome. He threw 3 touchdowns on Sunday.
Yeah. Then y'all win. Y'all beat the Cardinals, right?
Yeah. It was such
Or
a sloppy game. I watched it again last night, and it was just awful. Like, we missed, like, 3 extra points, and, like, the Cardinals also missed a couple field goals, and then it was just messy. It was honestly hard to watch. Like, yes, Brock Purdy was awesome, the Kyle Shanahan offense was awesome, but, like, the defense on both sides of the ball were bad, and the special teams was just ugh.
how long have you been a Niner fan? And what made you become a fan?
Uh, so how old am I? I'm 20, and, I've pretty much been a Niner fan since, like, I was brought on to this earth. That's kind of how it works. Like, I guess in the Bay Area, especially with, like, I'm half Filipino and the culture over there, every single Bay Area Filipino is a diehard Niners fan, and you have no choice but to be a diehard Niners fan. And of course, my uncle was probably sitting in the room when my mom gave birth in a Niners shirt. Like, that's just how it is. And I remember, like, driving around and he would play, like, the anthem in the car, and that was just how it was. So, pretty much for my whole life, I've been a Niners fan, and I've lived in the Bay Area since before moving to San Diego all of my life. And, yeah, I mean, when Levi Stadium was built, it's like 20 minutes from my house. We immediately went to a game. My dad even went to the USC Stanford game there too. So, yeah, I mean, I grew up on Colin Kaepernick, Frank Gore, the Jim Harbaugh era. That was like, I think when I was first getting into it as a kid.
Yeah.
But I mean, now I've just kind of stuck with it. I'll talk my, you know what, to all my friends down here because people I think like my family in LA are Rams fans or Lakers fans and it's awful. But I don't know. I've just always been a Niners fan from being a Bay Area Filipino and also like even though my dad grew up in LA, he never really had an attachment to any of the LA teams other than like USC. So he kind of just fell on with my mom's side of the family and now we just ride hard for the Niners.
That's pretty cool. That's kinda how I was. So it's kinda like a family tradition. My granddad is a Panther fan. My dad was a Panther fan until he passed away, and it was just like I guess I'm a fan now. Similarly to college as well. So like we're all Tar Heel fans. Granddad,
Oh yeah, MJ.
yeah, definitely. Even though I didn't grow up on MJ, um, but just the fact that arguably the greatest of all time played for a team that I root for is like that's I hold that against everybody.
For I would too.
Yeah, I de- so I got into it literally the year that we drafted Cam. So
Mm,
anything pre-Cam, I know nothing about. Like I don't know anything about the Jake Delhomme years, prime Steve Smith, any of those guys. So like I legitimately watched Cam's evolution into the player that he was, leading us to the Super Bowl um, and everything that happened after. But um, I remember maybe like his second or third year, um, again, just being that kid, just listening to everybody. Everybody was saying, "Oh, we wasted a draft pick on Cam. Like he's not what we need," and yada yada yada. And I'll go to my dad about this, like, "Oh, hey, they're saying this, they're saying that. This person on TV said this," and my dad was just like, "Relax, like give him some time, and we will be all right." And literally, a season or two later, we're in the Super Bowl, and I'm like, "My dad was right. Just give him time, relax," and
he cooked.
he cooked. Um, do you believe that even though you're a Niner fan, do you believe that Cam is uh, Hall of Fame worthy?
That's a tough one. You can't spring
Yeah.
that on me. I'll come back with a better, more well-researched answer, but I was hearing whispers I am the biggest fan of the Mina Kimes show. Um, she's an NFL reporter for ESPN, and she was saying how at ESPN she's been hearing that people are saying Bryce is better than Cam, and I was like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa."
Whoa.
Like, slow your roll. It's been like half of a good season of him playing kind of mid. Like, let's let him develop. Let's let him play with a better team. Let's let him win the division first.
Yeah. So that would be great before he could ever be in that conversation of being better than Cam.
Yeah.
Um,
Quick
one,
question. Sorry, not to interrupt you, but you said you were a Tar Heels fan. I'm so curious about your thoughts on the whole Bill Belichick controversy.
um, adding a guy like Bill definitely puts us on the map, right? A former NFL head coach, one of the greatest, right? A legend, bringing his prowess and just football mastermind to the university, just gonna sell tickets, right? Um,
Mhm.
I don't know what it is; it's just not clicking. Then adding the whole situation with the girlfriend, right? That's a whole nother conversation, right? Um, and so I I I don't know. Like I don't really I follow more basketball than Carolina football, but
Fair
um
enough.
I don't know what's going on there. We'll see. I mean, maybe just first year jitters. I don't know why people thought we were just gonna come and just be undefeated. When we literally have like at least 40, 50 new recruits, literally a whole new team and a whole new system. So and a new coaching staff. So like, was it going to just be undefeated and just be the greatest team in college football? But we're doing okay. It's better than having no wins than you know having a couple.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So you say you're a fan of USC of college?
Yeah, University of Southern California.
Hmm. How you feel about oh my god, what's her name? Uh
Juju.
Juju. And she's sitting out this season, right?
Yeah, she is. And don't look at my Paige Beckers poster on the wall, but Juju's awesome, man. Like, it's so great to see the return of women's basketball at USC. Like, I feel like the last time it was like crazy big was Cheryl Miller, like way before the WNBA was even a thing. So honestly, I'm glad that she's putting USC on the map because it's awesome. But I also love Paige, hence the poster. But
And how do you feel overall, just this revolution, honestly, of women's sports being more discussed, talked about, leading the charge with, Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark, like you said, Paige and Juju and the whole 9 yards, even college and professional.
I mean, it's been the best thing, honestly. Like I mentioned earlier, when the volleyball team that I interned for, it was only their second inaugural season. So without the rise of women's sports, thanks to amazing women like Paige, Juju, um, Caitlin, and Angel Reese, I don't think we would have had women's professional volleyball leagues in the United States and other like women's leagues popping up that I've noticed. So it's not only like providing job opportunities for me specifically, but it's just giving these amazing athletes a platform, and it's the best thing ever. Like I can't like speak highly enough about it, but I'm here for it. Gonna continue the growth. I'll be there, front row, support however I can.
Yeah, I love it too. Um, just seeing the versatility of, men and women, right? That, some women can just do it better than, some men out there, and having that platform to show that some games can be great to see. Like I remember watching some games of the WNBA playoffs, and I'm just like, I'm just as hyped from like the last 2 3 minutes of games than I do with NBA games. And just continuing that mm, like I said, revolution of women's sports and seeing it grow has been amazing. And I remember sometimes when I was younger, like I forget legitimately, like, oh, it is playoff time whenever I'm watching Sports Center or any of these sports shows. Like I have to literally look it up. Like, oh, WNBA. Oh, it's like the semifinals right now. And I didn't even know the playoffs were even here. Um, so that show like I guess the non-priority it was at one point in time, but just seeing where it is now is amazing, and I hope they continue doing it. And hopefully, I go to a WNBA game one day. That's the
Oh my
goal.
gosh. Speaking of, I went to New York this summer with my family, and like obviously the NBA wasn't in season, but we trekked down to Brooklyn for a Liberty game,
Mm.
and it was awesome. Like, I know it's like the New York fan base, so obviously they're gonna be awesome, but it was packed to the brim. Like, people were screaming, and like, I've been to Oracle Arena. Like, I've seen a Warriors game in Oracle, and it was comparable to that. Like, the fans are die hard, and I was sitting next to this lady who had come from like 5 states over, and I got to meet Ellie, their mascot. Like, she was awesome. The atmosphere is awesome, and the love for women's sports in that arena was just so cool. And it's obviously just as competitive, as much, talking smack and, maybe some hard fouls, but it was still so awesome. And then I got to touch Sabrina Ionescu's hand after, and that was like best moment of my whole trip.
Is she like your top three WNBA players?
Honestly, probably. She also, shout out, grew up in the Bay Area. And again, I watched her at Oregon, just being a fan of the Pac-12 because of USC. So I feel like, yeah, honestly, probably top three.
Yeah, she's in there for me. I would say this is just off top. Like I don't have like actual ranking. Sabrina's
Yeah,
in it.
neither do I. Don't ask me.
Yeah, I like oh my gosh. Of course
You
Caitlin
have the
Clark.
oh
What's
yeah, well obviously Caitlin. Aaliyah Boston.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. Um I forgot her first name, but Plum.
Oh, Kelsey. Yeah, she just
Yes, yeah, yeah, yeah.
signed with LA. I actually saw Sparks Liberty, so we watched Kelsey Plum. And that she's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Um Yeah, I'm loving basketball. Not just men but women as well. So like I'm just hoping they continue, with praising women just as much as they do with the men. But so far, what's been your favorite moment as a fan of the 49ers?
Uh, well, I'm looking at my notes and I have on here any playoff win against the Cowboys. And
Yeah,
then also I have the 2023 NFC Championship against the Lions. I don't know if you tuned in, but it was like a comeback win. I was sitting in my freshman dorm, like in my Niners merch, sitting alone and like practically shaking back and forth. And at halftime, I remember texting my dad, being like, "Shoot, like it's over. Like I'm so scared. Like this was supposed to be our year." And then in like the third and fourth quarter, they come back, and I like probably cried tears of joy. And specifically, like there was a Brandon Ayuk catch that was like he like almost lost the ball, and then he caught it, and then at in the post game, he was like, "Oh yeah, I saw a butterfly and knew it was good luck." But that game was honestly so awesome. And it was like making it back to the Super Bowl. That was supposed to be our year. I plead the fifth, but that the NFC championship and winning against the Lions, who had been like this team that everyone was like, oh my God, they're finally good. Like, what's his name? Dan Campbell finally did it. And I also love Amon St. Brown because he played at USC. But I was like happy to beat them, and it was awesome. And we were Super Bowl bound after that.
yeah, definitely. Clearly, the Super Bowl run for us, just the going like 15-1. Um, beating team left and right, and just Cam being Cam, Superman, and going to the Super Bowl for I think the second time ever in our franchise history. Um, Nevertheless, the game itself or the result, was just the fact that we went there was just amazing, and never did I thought we will ever be in that position. So I would definitely was soaking in those moments and just being like, wow, like we're really here. And yeah, I haven't felt the same since. But we're good. We're gonna
You know what? Y'all are in the come up. Like it could be worse.
a lot worse. Yeah. Um, but yeah, so far, where's you guys' record this season?
It's either 7-4 or 7-3.
Okay.
7-4 because
74.
I just finished week 11.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on the season so far and where you guys can go later down the season?
Like I feel like I'm being a pessimist when I'm saying this, but like I don't think the Niners are gonna make a huge playoff push. Like, come on, Fred Warner and Nick Bosa are out for the rest of the season. Like Brandon Ayuk's injury is like up in the air. Like I don't even know if he's gonna come back. Like, yes, they're playing well, and even if they do get into the wild card, that would be awesome. But like one, they're not gonna win the division. And two, like we just don't have a roster that can withstand a deep playoff push. But it has been so much fun, especially this past week, watching the offense get healthy with Ricky Pearsall, Christian McCaffrey, George Kittle, and Brock all playing together. It was just so satisfying to watch. But also, like the Cardinals' defense was bad, so there's that too. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, if nothing, it's going to be entertaining and fun to watch. And however deep in the playoffs we go, I'll be happy. I'll be cheering them on.
Yeah, yeah. I think you guys can have a chance. Um, Obviously, just staying healthy is definitely number one priority for you guys. But um, I like you guys' division. There's like so many opportunities for each
Yeah.
team to, well, outside of in the Cardinals in you guys' division.
Yeah, we just played the Cardinals on
Yeah,
Sunday. It's
outside of them, you got the Seahawks, the Rams. That's a tough race that you guys got going there, but we'll see what happens with that. But for us, it's been a very up and down season. Like the
yeah.
first couple games, I'm just like, oh my god. But like we've picked it up a little bit, beating teams like the Cowboys, beating the Packers, and of course beating the Falcons twice.
Yeah.
Definitely rejuvenated my not my fandom, but just like my hype level for this team. Being consistent, being able to convert on third and fourth down, and continuing, drives and hitting those very important field goals. And of course, Bryce, he's the leader, he's the man, he's that guy. Um, Definitely had moments where I was questioning him, like maybe he's not our future. Um, he each game pretty much, average at least one pick a game, maybe two. So I'm just like, man, like just the inconsistency of him. Like when he's not pressured, he's like one of the best game managers in the league. But when he is pressured, he's just the worst. Um, but man, like that Falcon game, like really proved me wrong, and just um saw him in a different light. And like when he can ball, he'll ball. And so, man, like I'm excited for the matchup with you guys and seeing what we can do. Um, I know we're going to be on the road, so that's going to be interesting there, and of course prime time too. So I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll have to see about that. But being 6-5, literally one game, being number one in our division is amazing, and I love the whooping that the Bills did on Tampa.
For
Uh,
sure.
just just bittersweet, just bittersweet. I love it.
Yeah, I mean, I distinctly remember the year that Bryce won the Heisman and then kind of going in, he's just this, like, small prospect, and he still went 1st overall because he is Bryce Young, and then to see kind of his journey and see him kind of have that kind of comeback story, and now people aren't, like, dogging on him as much anymore. I'm honestly so happy that it's starting to work out, and I hope you guys can kind of bulk up the offensive line and kind of get him protected so he can continue to play better and, be that kind of game manager that he can be.
Yeah. One of my predictions for the season is that we go to the wild card, and I strongly believe that we can do it. Um, just looking at our schedule, I feel like we could. It's a possibility. Um,
Might even win the division, honestly. Like, I feel like the Bills, kind of crushing the Bucks spirit was what you guys needed to kind of get neck and neck for the division.
yeah, definitely. And you know, with Rico Dotto just coming out of nowhere and just playing out of his mind too, it was just like that was the engine that we needed for our offense. But also Young's connections with guys like T Mac, guys like Jalen Coker, and um Leggett is important as well. But he's definitely our engine of the offense, and keeping him going is definitely a priority for our offense. But uh, I know you guys' defense are like hit and miss sometimes, right?
Yeah, I mean, especially without, their 2 best players, and, like, I wrote a lot for FanFeed about how losing Charvarius Ward, Talanoa Hufanga, and Dre Greenlaw in one offseason practically broke my heart. Um, so yeah, I mean it's touch and go. I'd say it's better than before, even with the injuries, because Robert Saleh is just like a more solid coach and has a better philosophy, and people like gravitate towards him a lot more. But it's
Yeah.
still just like he's only got so much to work with. But rest in peace to Dre Greenlaw, Charvarius Ward, and Talanoa Hufanga on the Niners because they truly, especially Hufanga, because he played at USC. So I was a big fan. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like you guys can tear up the 49ers defense. It'll be a high scoring game for sure.
Yeah. What I think we're both on the podcast Sunday, right?
I haven't even checked. Usually, like when they add us in the Teams chat, I go and see it. But I don't know. I'll be there.
Yeah, for
Wait,
sure.
yes, I do have that in my calendar, actually. Yes, we will be on the podcast.
Yeah, we were talking about that more then. Um, but yeah, I'm excited for our season and what we can do, and obviously the possibilities for the extension of Bryce because I think this is his
Right.
last season. Um, so like, what should we do? Should we just do the team option and just give him another year, or just pay him outright for 3 or 4 years? So I was talking to another buddy of mine that we do a podcast with, and he was like, "Yeah, just straight up pay him based off of his production, not just against the Falcons, but also what he can do in a primetime game um, against you guys on the road yet again." So yeah, we'll have to see. I was leaning more towards the team option. Well,
Yeah, I would too, I think.
I was kind of in the middle of it, but like more so team option. Just weigh it out, see what it can do. Can't base a contract on just one game.
Oh,
Uh,
yeah, for
so
sure. I feel like
whoa,
even one season can be a little dicey. Like, kind of, we saw what happened with Daniel Jones. Like, yes, he's back, but like,
yeah,
it was rough for a while.
for sure. I think that's an example of just decent player, just wrong system. In New
Yeah.
York, and now in Indiana, it's like, where was this guy at a couple years ago?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, teams like Indiana and honestly, the Broncos are surprising me this season. I was
Yeah,
not,
because they just beat the Chiefs.
yeah, like that's crazy. I was not expecting this type of player from them or the Colts, but yeah, it's good to see like different teams stepping up and being those leaders.
Yeah, it's like it feels kind of weird to see them winning, but it's like that's kind of how the NFL goes, and even the NBA too. There's always like that surprise team or those couple surprise teams, and then they kind of make their run, have their couple years, and then like go downhill from then. Like even the Chiefs barely being, I think they're at like 500 right now. Like that's crazy. They like just won the Super Bowl, were in the Super Bowl last year and then won the previous year. It's just like that kind of up and down of sports. It's weird sometimes when you like just want your team to win, but like it's fun to watch.
Absolutely. Like just right now, I think the Detroit Pistons out of all teams are like
Right.
13-2. Like what
Yeah,
is
I think they're at the top of the East, which is
yeah,
like crazy talk. Like if you told me that like literally even a year or two ago, I would have been like, you're joking, right?
yeah, that's crazy. And I'm a Bulls fan, and that's just like insane to see and say. But I mean, we started the season like undefeated, and I was like, let's go. Then we lost like 4 games in a row, and like I'm like, wow, okay. Um, so I know you say you're a Klay Thompson fan, but like, are you a
Mhm.
Dallas fan as well, or you're still with the Warriors?
I like till I die, I'm a Warriors fan, but I will say I do own like a Klay Thompson Dallas Mavericks shirt. But, like, for Klay Thompson, like, because I grew up watching him and, like, his game, and, like, again, I wanted to go to Washington State purely because he went there. But, yeah, I wouldn't say I'm a Mavs fan. If he's, like, playing, I'll watch, but, like, they're so bad right now, it's not even fun, and, like, they were bad last year. They traded Luka. It was awful. As much as I, like, despise Luka Doncic, it was such an awful move. But, like, I think I I used to hate Dallas, and then Clay signed there, and I was like, "Alright." But, yeah, I do hate the Cowboys.
Why you don't like Luca?
I like, his game just bothers me. I don't know, like, I just, like, there when he was traded, there was all these things coming out saying, like, "He's not getting back on defense." He's, like, complaining to the refs, like, he I don't know, his game just bothers me, like, the way that he's, like, complaining and expecting these calls, like, I hate that, like, that's not basketball, like, in in the nicest way possible, play the game.
Yeah. I feel like that's like half the league though.
I know, it's just I don't know why Luka bothers me, maybe it's Dallas, maybe it's the air in Dallas, but I don't know.
I think the Lakers won last night, right?
I think so, right, because LeBron came back.
Yeah. How you feel about Bron? He's your GOAT.
You know what? MJ's my GOAT.
There we go.
Have it on record right now. MJ is my GOAT. Um, LeBron's awesome and, like, again, grew up on him and the Cavs and, like, he's awesome and he's forever gonna be awesome, but I think MJ's legacy and his story and, like, what he did for the game, like, you can't top it.
Yeah. And for me personally, like of course individual accolades is cool, it's great, it's awesome, but like the idea of the game is to win in the biggest moments.
Mhm.
And obviously Jordan has done that more than him and has performed better than Braun in those moments. So that's why Jordan
Yeah.
will forever be like better than him, in my opinion. But for me, Kobe's my guy. He's my goat. I grew up on Kobe. He was like the personification of what it is to win, regardless of the obstacles, regardless of the critics, and um, just having the mindset and the mentality to just like go um, and just win. Go out there and do what you got to do. Defend the best player on the team, and regardless of nagging injuries, like you're on the court. Um, like the will to win, and of course, winning 5 championships is not that bad as well. Um, especially with the critiques of like, oh, those the first three was Shaq rings. Like, okay, cool, he got two afterwards. He didn't allow those 3 rings to be his ghost of I guess mediocrity, or just like, oh, he just was the Robin of Shaq's Batman, right?
Mhm.
And so yeah, and I just told a story of watching Kobe. He was the first superstar that I watched as a kid. So um, I mean, a little biasness in there, but Kobe definitely showed out and did the work. And so uh, that's my order: Kobe, Jordan, Braun.
I think I don't know. For one, I resonate with the Mamba mentality. You literally pretty much just said it, but it's like the grit, the grind, and just what he put in. And like again, showing the world that like without Shaq, he can be a winner. And I think I resonate with that idea a lot with the Warriors 2022 championship. They won without KD, and like Steph proved he's like the GOAT of San Francisco. People say he's the GOAT. I don't believe that as much as I want to. I don't.
Yeah,
I think he's my GOAT in my heart as a Bay Area resident. But in terms of all basketball, I think Honestly, I think I'd go MJ, Kobe, and Braun tied, I guess, but that's a cop out. But
Yeah, I
yeah,
got you. And honestly, that's crazy that you mentioned that because I was definitely one of those people that was, I wouldn't say scrutinizing Curry, but like I felt like he needed to win after the KD experience. To
yeah,
For me to put him in the likes of, Kobe, the Bronze, the Jordans, the Shaqs of the world, right? Um, but yeah, he literally carried that franchise, especially that season, and
hmm
leading up to that year's finals against the Mavericks, right? Not the Mavericks, but the
uh,
Celtics.
oh yes, the Celtics. Huh, that was beautiful.
Yeah. So, yeah, that was the ring that put Curry in my top 10 all time. Uh,
Yeah,
winning without Kevin and um, Clay was there, but he wasn't Clay.
yeah, he was there. Love the man, but and like he deserved that ring and like his loyalty to the franchise. He deserved it and like did his part, but like he wasn't Clay. And you could say the same about Draymond. And especially he had won the previous rings with Andre Iguodala playing like a starter, and I don't even think Andre played any minutes in the finals. He
Yeah,
was just uh, he was just there.
I feel like Curry was robbed of that MVP.
Oh yeah, I I love Andre Iguodala. He's awesome, but yeah, I mean, no one does better than Steph Curry, and he definitely that was his coming out party, and I'm glad he finally got his Finals MVP.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, I feel like I can talk basketball all day, but
I know.
yeah. Um, Crazy shift, but what's something that um you say you're in school, you're a junior, you're pushing through, like what keeps you motivated, um, you know, throughout your journey that you are on right now?
I think a lot of it is making my parents proud, and like I want to do it for them. They've sacrificed so much for me to be where I'm at, so I want to make them proud, and I want them to be like happy with what they did for me, and like I can make the most of what they've done for me. And then I'm also like I'd say I'm very like accomplishment driven, like success driven, very career driven. So like moving on to the next career related thing or like leadership position, that's kind of what keeps me going. And also like on like a way bigger scale, like uh I think I'm very passionate about uplifting women, especially women in sports. So like kind of leading the way and like when people kind of reach out to me and talk about it, or it's like I meet younger girls, especially through like sorority recruitment, that are like, I want to work in sports. I like want to give them all my advice and all my contacts that I could possibly give so that they are like, set up for what they want to do. So like I think uplifting women, making my parents proud, and just continuing to accomplish what I want to accomplish.
Yeah, you and I are like in the same boat as far as being career driven and wanting to make the people that literally made us, but the people
Yeah.
that just raise us proud. And
Yeah, definitely.
especially in my case with my dad's passing,
Hmm.
that obviously um, just put me in the space of just being down and being like, oh man, I don't have a purpose in life anymore because of this person that was so positive and just so um, fixated on pushing me to be better as a person. And so without that energy, without that helping hand, it's hard to keep going. But just the constant talks that we used to have, just the constant positivity that he always pushed. So like it's like even though he's not here, like I can feel his spirit somewhat. And still, like, that's not an excuse to just like stop, even though he's not here. Like, continue your drive, continue um your journey, and keep going. Um, so it's been very challenging. It's been very difficult. Next month would be 12 years since he's been gone. So this time of year always sucks for me. Everybody else is celebrating Thanksgiving, Christmas, the New Year, and I'm just here, you know, celebrating him. And so uh, it's it's never easy, regardless of how much time has been. But like I said, I just try to keep going and try to make him proud with everything I got going with my videos and just personal stuff, and just the mentality to just keep going, literally. So one of the biggest things that I've learned in life due to my dad's passing is that um, life keeps going with or without you. No one's going to have like a pity party for you just because you're upset, mad, and frustrated about life. Just have to find your way and pick yourself up and try to dust yourself off as much as possible. Learn and keep pushing.
Well, I know it's been 12 years, but I'm so sorry for your loss. I can't imagine having going the last 12 years without your dad, but I know based off what you said about him, he would be so proud of you and everything you've accomplished and would love the fact that you're carrying on his Panther fan legacy. And I know my uncle passed away around this time too, and he like nurtured my love of Bay Area sports. So I know like every time I like watch a game, write an article, hop on one of these podcasts, I feel like I think of him and, like, what he would say, and I remember I used to, like, send him my work, and he'd be like, "Oh my god, this is so cool," and, like, I know, like, it's really hard, but, like, they'd be so proud, and, like, knowing that they're proud keeps me going, definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, one of my this is like a crazy like fact about me, but one of my biggest love languages is words of affirmation, and that doesn't just go for romantic relationships, but like
Mhm,
friendships, family, just people in
mhm,
my life. Like hearing those "I'm proud of you," those "I care about
mhm,
you," or "I'm there for you," whatever you need. Like I got you,
mhm.
like that. That keeps me upbeat. Um, my head and my heart are like two total opposite entities.
Yeah.
My heart is full of positivity, and my head is just like very extremely negative. And sometimes my head gets in the way, and can definitely outweigh my heart at times. So sometimes I start to question any and everybody around me. Um, but a simple "I support you," or "I'm there for you," whatever you need, I got you. It calms me down a bit. Like, okay, like I don't know why I questioned this person in the first place. What's wrong with me? But yeah, I'm big on like words of affirmation and just hearing someone supporting me is
Yeah, I know sorry. I know, like, definitely w in terms of my, like, love language with my friends and, like, peers, that, like, words of affirmation is really important to me too, like, just hearing it from them, and, like, I think less so from my parents, but definitely more from my friends, and they're like, "I'm here for you, I love you, whatever you need, I'm here to help you," and I think because sometimes you kind of feel like you're doing everything all alone, so hearing it verbally and knowing that they mean it means so much to, like, your friendship and to me, like, personally, so I get where you're at.
yeah, absolutely. Um, what's a situation or event that um that you've kind of like turned down in a sense, or like a decision that you turned down because it didn't really align with who you are at the time and where you're going? Because I know that's a hard thing to do, especially who it's coming from, right? What was that for you?
I mean, Um, as I talked about before, I'm very career driven and always looking for the next like job or leadership opportunity. So last, I think spring or fall, I turned down a job opportunity and like it honestly probably would have been good for me and given me good experience, but I just like looked at what I had on my plate at the time and was like, I don't think I can handle it. And I talked to my mom about it and she's like, I don't know if this would be the best like opportunity for you, and I kind of just decided not to do it. And overall I like don't regret not doing it at all. Like
Yeah,
I genuinely think it would have pushed me over the edge, and like it gave me more time to focus on other things that were still leadership club involvements in my internship at the time, and I was able to give my all to everything else that I was doing instead of kind of spread myself thin. So even though that was kind of some like a little thing, it was hard for me to kind of turn down a job opportunity like that because that's like something I value so much is like professional experience.
yeah, but everything happens for a reason, and
Yeah.
it led you to where you are now. So, um, you know, that's pretty cool. Um, this is a good question, and I was thinking like, what, like for the past couple of days, like what's a good answer for that I've been through. Um, but I remember I think my junior year of college. Um, I was uh I was rooming with a guy that was in a frat, and
Hmm.
um, I mean, because we were both transfers,
Mhm.
so we was in this transfer class. Like literally everybody in the class was transfers, and we were
Mhm.
all put together. Um, because at the time I was actually not living on campus. There was like this hotel, like literally a mile from the campus, that was in affiliation with the school. Like anybody that didn't was not able to get a place on campus, like you stay here, um,
Hmm.
either drive or shuttle back and forth. Uh,
Hmm.
so in that sense, I had no choice but to do that. But I felt disconnected from the school.
Yeah.
I didn't really like whenever I left, like I left for the day. I was
Mhm.
gonna keep going back and forth. Um, and so because of that, like my grades wasn't there. Didn't really go too well. Uh, and so the following semester, I talked to him, and like, yeah, he had a spot open for me, and I was like, cool, let's do that. And like I said, he was in the frat, and sometimes his frat buddies would come over in the like little living room areas,
Mhm.
um and try to invite me here, invite me there, and stuff like that. And I'm just like, okay, I appreciate that, looking out, because I'm so and so's roommate.
Mhm.
um but I'm just one of those people where it takes time for me to get comfortable with people. um
Yeah.
like I'm not about to just give you all of me, the first couple meetings and greetings. Like I'm feeling my way around, like who's cool, who's not, whatever. But I think after a while, one of the last get-togethers that they had, one of the, I think, ringleaders pulled me to the side of a get-together. I was like, "Yeah, how do you feel about joining?" I'm just like, cool opportunity, but I'm good. Uh, I just don't. I just didn't. I just never saw myself in a frat. I never saw myself. I guess pushing myself to be around people 24/7, uh,
Yeah.
and try to live up. to this image that you have to be when you're in a frat and do this and do that. I'm good in my own lane, um,
Mhm.
staying out the way, staying low key, and doing what I got to do and to graduate and get out of here. Um, I appreciate that though. I appreciate you guys giving me this opportunity to do this or do that because I'm, like I said, so and so's roommate, but like I'm good. I'm good. Then slowly but surely,
Yeah.
they just stopped talking to me. I was like, okay, cool.
Well, that's, like, awful. I know it feels, like, unnatural when, like, they're being nice to you and then you just find out it's just because they want you to join, and, like, I know that all too well, again, being the vice president of recruitment for my sorority, um, but I've definitely struggled to, like, find myself outside of being associated with that group, and, like, I used to live in the sorority house, and now I don't, and it's been 10 times better not living in the sorority house because you just, like, get to be a separate entity, you get to do your own thing, you can have your friends over without asking them to come over to the sorority house. So I definitely feel the idea of having your own lane and like it's taken me till my junior year to kind of have my own lane outside of the sorority, but I know people who have joined frats and then they drop by their third year, their second year because they're like, wait, I can still be friends with my like three friends in the frat, even if I'm not affiliated with it. So honestly, that was a good choice.
Yeah, definitely. And I don't regret it at all. So, you know, it is what it is.
Greek life isn't for all of us, and I honestly didn't think it was for me, but I met my best friend, so I'm sticking it out.
Absolutely. Thus far, what would you say is the biggest obstacle that you had to go through in life?
I think probably one of the hardest things that I've have to overcome was just like losing some of my close family members. And unfortunately, it sounds like you can relate a little bit, but it it's just hard because like it's just a norm to have them around and then suddenly they're not.
Yeah.
And again, they're just some of my biggest support systems and I just like don't know genuinely don't know what to do without them. And then aside from me, like, seeing my other family members deal with it, it just like, I know there's nothing I can do about it, but it's so much harder seeing them struggle with it because you're also struggling with it, and there's nothing you can do about it because it's just this thing that exists. But, like, I again, like I mentioned this before, I'm a part of a big Filipino family. We're all so close, and we all do all these things together, so, like, when someone's missing and, like, you know they're never gonna come back, it's, like, it's heartbreaking, and,
Yeah.
you know, being away at college, I'm, like, further away from my family, and I, like when things happen, I just, like I even more so can't do anything to help my family because I'm 9 hours away. So, I think definitely deaths in the family have been the biggest obstacles I've had to overcome, but I think they'd be proud, and the world keeps spinning and, doing everything I can in their honor.
Yeah. I had to repeat my answer for this one as well. Just the ability to keep going and overcome the I guess the negatives and just like the negative thoughts that goes on in here at moments. Um, and the ability to just I guess being able to manifest your journey and your goals and aspirations and um because it's not easy, n- not having that positive reinforcement in your life, especially that these people gave us. So trying to find a motivation, finding the energy, the drive to um, graduate college, trying to be in internships and um, find jobs. It's hard, but um, one of the hardest things is that trying to find your own way can be a very interesting uh, course in life. So um, I'll say, yeah, just the ability to keep going is the biggest obstacle, and not allowing people's negativity to get in the way of where I want to be and who I want to be in life is
Mhm.
my answer for that.
Yeah, I think, like, I don't know, people say this, like, as a joke, but, like, blocking out the haters and kind of compartmentalizing the negativity definitely is hard to do, but it's something that's, like, vital because otherwise you're just gonna keep hyperfixating on it,
Yeah.
and that's not good.
Yeah, absolutely. And my last question for you today is what's the what's the best advice that you can give out to someone who's like struggling, kind of like where we were talking about earlier, and not being able to block out the noise and allowing that negativity to not get to for them to get to where they want to be, and you know being in their shells, and what is that advice that you can give out?
I, like, struggled with this question a lot because I was trying to think of what's the best advice I've been given, but I think, like, as cliche as it sounds, like, believing in yourself and having confidence in yourself is the first step to success, because if you don't think you can do it, then, like, you're not gonna be able to do it. And knowing that you can get through hard things, like, again, we talked about, but also not being afraid to ask for help. I struggled with that a lot. Again, I talked about how running my sorority's recruitment was awful. A lot of times it was because I kind of isolated myself and I thought that I had to do everything, but I had a whole team to help me and they were willing to help me. I just like kind of didn't realize that I should have asked them for help. So, not being afraid to ask for help, believing yourself, and having confidence and knowing you can get through it, I think. It sounds like a lot, but start with having confidence in yourself, and that's kind of the best advice I could give.
Yeah, mine is like right down the line of yours of just being yourself. It's such a broad thing to say, but it can
Mhm,
definitely get you to many places. Um, I was definitely one of those kids, you know, trying to be something that I wasn't, try to fit in of
mhm,
what I thought was cool, right? Um,
mhm.
but slowly but surely, you start to lose yourself and not recognize what you see in the mirror. And after a while, there's a decision that you're going to have to make. Either continue this lane of being fictitious, or just be real with yourself and accept what God put you on this earth to be. Um, and accept those consequences, and accept people may not think that you're cool. People may not think that you're this or that. And um, not as many text messages or phone calls when you're being real versus being fake, right? So just being okay with who you are is very essential, very important into anybody's journey. And so, yeah, just being uniquely yourself is very important for me. Um, and just accepting who you are, accepting um, where God has put you on in this journey. You may not understand it right now. You may be struggling with this, struggling with that, but it's all for a reason. And everything's a chapter in a season. And, you know, um, yeah, just the ability to keep going.
Yep,
I
it's tough.
feel like a broken record player, but um, yeah, just being able to be yourself in a world where it's so easy to manipulate and just try to be something that you're not, um,
Yeah.
and be followers, and you know, where you're meant to be a leader.
I
Yeah,
definitely sorry, I've definitely caught myself in that sometimes, like, growing up in the social media era and where everything is trending and you just, like, wanna hop on that trend and, like, if you don't like it, don't do it, like, don't buy those shoes, don't wear that shirt, like, I don't know. I just remember distinctly, like, a lot in middle school and high school, I felt the need to, like, just kind of conform and do whatever, like, everyone else is doing, and a lot since, like, kind of, um, being on my own, I realized, like, I can have my own interests, I can do whatever I want because I like it, and it doesn't really matter what everyone else is doing.
yeah. Um, like I said, I was one of those kids, especially in high school. I was in middle school. I was putting people on pedestals, right? Uh,
Mhm,
like, oh, this person is wearing this. This person has this hairstyle. Or this person has this shirt, these pants. Like I want that image. Um,
mhm.
and so yeah, putting people on pedestals is definitely not a not a cool thing to do, but um, it's all part of life. It's all part of our journeys, and you got to live and learn. And so, oh, it's all good. I feel like I feel like everything worked out for me in a sense. I guess it's other people's um, perception of that, but for me, I feel like I feel like I'm doing pretty good for myself.
Yeah, I think me too, I think I'm happy with where I'm at despite all the obstacles that I've gone through, but also, like, the obstacles made me who I am, so, like, you know what, I'm grateful for growing out of the wanting to conform and all the things I've gone through, but yeah, I'm also, I'd say, pretty confident with where I'm at.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, how do you enjoy yourself on this?
It was so much fun. I love getting to know you and hearing just more about you and your story. Just again, that's what I love about this internship is just hearing from other people and getting to know other people who have like similar interests. Like I didn't know you were into basketball like that. Like me too.
Yeah. I'm more of a basketball guy than football, but I wasn't willing to like give up on the opportunity to be with fan
Yeah.
feed and stuff like that. So I had to brush up on my football skills and knowledge. And so yeah, I enjoy this too. Um, I'm gonna be honest, like I was very reluctant on like asking because like I'm just one of those people like I'm good with rejection, but at the same time, like I don't like uh reaching out to people. Like I know people got busy lives
Yeah.
and stuff like that. And um but yeah, I still do like interacting with people, getting to know people more, um and so like I appreciate you for taking the time out.
Yeah, of course. And I'll probably be seeing you on Sunday for the pod.
Yeah.
But you know, go Niners.
Yeah. Keep pounding. But
Okay,
yeah,
well,
so like before we get out of here, can you let the people know where they can follow you on socials?
oh, well, I have my, like, Instagram that I post all my, like, media and, like, career-related things. It's literally just media by Soleil, and it's spelled the same way that it is in my, little name thing here. And, on all other socials, it's just my first and last name and then an underscore, so you can check me out anywhere.
Perfect. That's for anything.
I think I wanna say it's for TikTok and Instagram. Uh, and then honestly, I do have Blue Sky and X. I don't remember my username. I don't use them that often, so I don't recommend following me on there. But Instagram and TikTok, I'm the most active. So hit me up there.
Perfect. As you guys know, you can follow me on Instagram, Kendrick30 underscore. TikTok, Kendrick McKnight 30, and of course the YouTube channel, The Life of Kendrick. But yeah, Beneath the Surface episode, what was this 8? Man, this was pretty cool, pretty enlightening, and man, I hope this isn't the last time.
Thank you so much for having me. I've had an awesome time.
Absolutely. Make sure you guys like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel for more content. Until my next one, yes, sir.